Okay, well, here we see the future of personal transportation. This is a two-seat drone, yes. So, fully electric. It looks certainly very impressive. You certainly wouldn't want to be standing anywhere near it with these electric motors running. It does indeed look like a working prototype, and they do have video here of the units actually flying. One of the advantages of this, if you were testing it, you could probably test it remote controlled. So you wouldn't have to put an operator in it for basic testing, and then finally when you were satisfied that you had a stable, safe platform, you could actually have a test pilot and then move on to actually a passenger and then a customer. It certainly looks like an impressive design, certainly nice and solid. All right, now it has 8 of these dual rotor configurations, so in total there are 16 electric motors and 16 propellers that are going to hold it aloft. It certainly looks like an impressive design. Here we see obviously the charging station. And here we see the write-up of it, the era of urban air mobility. Okay, here we have our Sky Image Tech, and it's actually a Thai company partnered with another company in mainland China, and it certainly looks like an impressive package. Founded in 2022, they're just a year old, but we can see that they certainly have an impressive design. And certainly based on drone technology, we can see that they're simply an upscaled version. Okay, now here we see our Sky Image Tech drone, and I use the term drone because this is really what this is at this point in Thailand. It's a passenger drone, possibly if they found a suitable volunteer, but really in Thailand, it's not really legal to put a person in this vehicle. But they do fly it just like a drone. It has about a 22-minute flight time. Yes. 27 minutes. 25. Oh, okay. I've been corrected. 25-minute flight time and about 33 kilometers. So that's how far you're going to go in 25 minutes. All right. Now, as far as the altitude of the drone, they recommend about 500 meters, and that's about 1,500 feet. Now, you're probably scratching your head saying, why is it limited to 1,500 feet? Remember, I'm controlling it from the ground. I have to be able to comfortably see it. Conceivably, it could fly much higher. Of course, as we get higher in altitude, the air gets thinner, but probably up there around, a mile. So that would be about, 5,000 feet, 6,000 feet. I get up there around 9,000, 10,000 feet. I may have troubles with the thinning of the air. Because remember, this is a direct thrust vehicle. This doesn't have an airfoil. It's using a series of 16 propellers to hold it aloft. But I got to be able to see it right now. I'm operating it from the ground. But certainly I could have an autonomous pilot there to fly it around, a computer aboard that could take it a distance and bring it back to its start. But this is what we see right here, and it's coming in at about $500,000. You can have your very own. Yes. Does this go up any higher? Okay, go up in there, Dwaning. Let's talk about it. All right, now here we just need a suitable volunteer. It obviously can seat 2 people, and it's limited somewhat on the payload. But as you can see, the operator, the pilot's going to be on the ground, and conceivably I could put the pilot in here, but we're not doing that right now. So that certainly looks impressive. Looks like this would be good and comfortable. Notice the absence of any type of controls. I just simply have a touch screen. The computer's in charge. Now, in case of emergency, we notice that they have equipped you with the fire extinguisher. I'm not quite sure what you're going to do with that, but there you go. You have a fire extinguisher. Let's talk about the motor here for a moment. All right, here we go. So, all right. Now here I obviously have a carbon fiber propeller, and by the way, this is very, very light. I get an indication of how heavy it is by the force required to accelerate and decelerate it, and it's nothing. I mean, this is really, really light. And you'll notice that the rotor of the motor is external, the stator is internal. So this is a brushless DC motor, very high power. And we notice here is the airflow coming across the stator to cool it. So here I'll draw in air between the motors, come through the motor cavity to cool the stationary member. Remember, the rotor's on the outside, the stator's on the inside, and off we go. Now, obviously, as you look at the design of the propeller, it has a very clearly defined direction, but this is a carbon fiber propeller. Notice here the tip. So there we see the wingtip vortices. I'm sure this is carefully designed using finite element analysis. So this is going to give us our optimum airflow and maybe help reduce that extreme noise there at the tip of our propellers. In order for this to work effectively, I'm sure that these tips are moving close to the speed of sound. But as I move that, I'm amazed at how light that blade actually is. So here we go. Is this a light emitting diode? This a light? Is this a light? Yes. Oh, okay, here we go. All right. Now, during operation, we have these bright LED lights. And obviously, when this is operating, you don't want to come anywhere close to, obviously, the rotating blades. What we're looking at right here, these are actually drones. What you're seeing, now this is a recorded video, obviously, but what happens is these are the drones. So it's showing here the computer system is controlling all of these drones and all of their lights, which it can change the colors and produce all kinds of elaborate images in the sky. So here we see the small drone technology, which has been developed over quite a few years now, and certainly a mature science. They're moving to develop more powerful drones with batteries that are able to store a larger quantity of energy for a given mass, so we'll be able to fly a lot further, have much greater endurance. And we can see this possibly replacing fireworks here in the future, where I just simply have a great big fleet of drones. And here we see the drones here waiting here at their launch pad below it. So as soon as these drones have finished their mission, the second group will then take off. And of course, when they turn their lights off, they're invisible. So as they approach their pattern in the sky, they bring their lights on. These drones are actually performance drones, and they come in a package of 400. So you have 400 of the drones, obviously with the control system in the computer, obviously the charger, and I certainly have a battery, which is a quick disconnect battery. I'm going to have be able to swap the battery very quickly. 400 drones, $35,000.